Welcome back to Access Anime. My name is Henshin Ikeda, and today I'll be doing a walkthrough review of Maoyuu Maou Yuusha Episode 9. Now, if you remember from last episode, we find out the allied merchant appears out of nowhere at Mao's estate, and he is there to deliver balance worksheets to Mao. And, you know that's bullshit, he actually has a love interest in Mao. Now, speaking of Mao, she's actually in the demon world, renewing her Demon King license with the head maid. So, who is the impostor pretending to be Mao? It's the older maid. Do you remember the maid that actually has a younger sister? Well, this is the older sister, and she's actually covering for Mao while she's away. So it kind of makes sense. However, the allied merchant is not fooled. He knows the difference. But before he can put two and two together, Yuusha appears out of nowhere and basically tells the fake Mao the jig is up. And he probably tells the allied merchant the truth. But before he can go any further, guess what? Yuusha knows the allied merchant personally. In fact, the allied merchant was the one that actually hired Yuusha in the first place to take out the Demon King. Ironically, right? So they're actually doing a little light catch up. And guess what? Yeah, Yuusha, he was promised a banquet when he was hired on the first time. And he's like, well, he's here to collect. So he basically tells the allied merchant, hey, you dumbass, where's my fucking banquet? Where is it? And the allied merchant basically apologizes and says, okay, well, I promised you one. I may as well ante up, so when do you want it and where? And Yuusha basically explains to him, well, he doesn't even explain to him, he just grabs the allied merchant and he teleports himself to Gate City. You heard me, Gate City. And you know what? The allied merchant is kind of stunned. Well, first of all, Yuusha could teleport, a little stunned there. And moving on past that, he's in Gate City, and he notices, where are all the humans? I mean, guards and stuff. Yuusha is basically explaining to the allied merchant, this is a neutral territory. Both demons and humans live among each other, and it's like an amazing society. And he's trying to convince the allied merchant this is an amazing place to do business. If this place were to spread out more, like more places would become, demon and human cohabited and whatnot, it would be very profitable. And he actually tries to sell Gate City to the allied merchant. It was kind of funny. Now, moving on past that, we do see the dragon princess, and she actually helps Yuusha with a banquet, and I thought that was kind of funny. Now, of course, moving on past that, we are taken to a different scene with the church. Yeah, the church is now getting involved, and they're basically saying that Mao is a heretic just because they don't agree with what she's doing, and she's kind of setting back the war between humans and demons per se, among other things, of course. And basically, because the church is saying that Mao's a heretic, it means everything that Mao's done up until now is considered, well, heresy, or in this case, it's like blasphemy. It's like, these potatoes, they're blasphemy. Those carrots, they're blasphemy. I was like, all those inventions, the printing press, it's blasphemy. And basically, they want to arrest Mao. What the fuck? Are you serious? Moving on past that toward the end of the episode, we do find out Yuusha catches wind of what's happened after the banquet's over, and so does the Winter King, and they basically get together under one roof with the fake Mao, and they basically tell the fake Mao, what we're going to do is we're going to let the church kidnap you, or in this case, arrest you, and we're going to let you exit the Winter King's territory, and once you're free of the Winter King territory, Yusha's going to swoop in and kidnap the fake Mao. So technically the Winter King's not held responsible, because if the Winter King were to stop the church, he would be considered a heretic, and then war would be declared on him and whatnot. So the plan kind of makes sense. But again, that's where the episode ends, and I'll hold my final thought and rating at the end of the clip, so stay tuned. But let's dive right on in. So we open up this episode with the allied merchant, and he's kind of doing a little light update on what's occurred so far, kind of like a brief update. Now, moving on past that, we find out the allied merchant, yeah, he wants to form a new council of 10. We really don't know why. Kind of interesting. But before he can go into more detail about it, a diplomat appears out of nowhere, knocks at his door, and enters. Apparently, this diplomat is from the ice country. I know, right? Weird. Perfect timing. But again, that's where we open up with. Moving on past that, we are taken to a different scene with the allied merchant, and apparently he's actually talking to the diplomat that's from the ice country, and he wants this guy from the ice country to pretend like he's hailing from the Bard country. Why? Apparently it was in order to stop what the current Council of 10 is doing, and basically to find out some more information. And this diplomat says, okay, sure. If this is for Mao, then sure, I'll do it. So we're taken to a different scene with the peasants. Yeah, we're in the winter country per se. You know, we're in the Winter King domain, and these peasants are right outside where Yuusha is at, as well as the fake Mao. And again, these are peasants, and they're basically shouting at the building, at everyone, that they love Mao. They can't believe that she's a heretic. They don't want to believe she's a heretic. They actually are praising her and calling her a goddess, because they don't like what the church has been saying. So, you know, I kind of feel for them, because you know what, the church, yeah, they can be wrong on many levels, and I just find this kind of ironic, because they're saying Mao's a goddess when she's actually the Demon King. I'm sorry, you gotta find the humor in that. She's actually a Demon King, and they're calling her a goddess. Come on, it's a small little humor there. However, we are taken to a different scene with Yuusha, and guess what? His plan has begun. Yeah, apparently the maid turns into Mao automatically, because that was part of the plan. And moving on past that, the maid starts to cry before she goes outside and gets arrested, of course, before she hands herself in. The maid, which is pretending to be Mao, she starts to cry because, you know what, she feels bad. She can't do anything. She feels powerless, like she can't help Mao. She can't help Mao any more than she already has. You know, she wants to do more because Mao has done so much for her. You know what, I feel for her too. However, we are taken to a different scene with the messenger from the church. And I really don't like this guy at all. But anyways, he has arrived. And if you were watching closely, there's a cage on what appears to be like a carriage. And that's what Mao's going to be put into, I guess. And that does not look comfortable. It's like a little cage, like a cell. It's kind of disgusting. But anyways, that's what the messenger brings in with a few of his guards. I thought that was kind of pathetic. And again, he's calling Mao a heretic, which I hate how he says it, put it that way. Now, moving on past that, we do find out he basically puts shackles on Mao. That's right, the fake Mao exits the building, and she gets arrested by the messenger. And they put some like shackles on both of her wrists. It's like a wooden shackle per se. I don't know the correct term that it's called, but bear with me, of course. You know, I apologize if I got the name wrong. But anyway, she has shackles on her. I'm like, what the hell? That's a little strong. I mean, they're arresting her, they're putting her on trial, they're not killing her yet. Now, they want to confirm that this is the real Mao, so they have a guy start to circle the fake Mao, and he says, yeah, that's the real Mao. I'm like, what? What kind of dude is this? This guy? He's not the messenger, of course. This is one of the messenger's men. He's checking out the fake Mao, and he says, yeah, this is the Mao. This is the real Mao. What? Where did you get your degree in identifying people? Because you know what? That's a fake Mao. Apparently he's not proficient in magic, just stupidity. Just putting that out there, however. But we are taking to a different scene with the fake Mao. Now she is shackled per se, and she's being whipped on the back by more than one person. I'm like, what the fuck? This went from being a G-rated anime series to like a rated R to closely like a softcore porn freaking thing. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, the fake Mao, which is the maid, is getting whipped on the back, and she's bleeding. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Seriously? In front of all these people, in front of the Winter King, in front of Yuusha. He's up top on one of the buildings watching. I was like, what the hell? Apparently they're going to take her to the capital after they're done humiliating her. I was like, what the fuck? Now, of course, we are taken to a different scene with the fake Mao. And then she's actually telling the winter villagers, or the peasants in general, that she was a serf. So she kind of opens her mouth when she wasn't supposed to, and she's telling the crowd her story, not the real Mao story, because if you remember correctly, the real Mao is the Demon King, and technically the Demon King is automatically considered a heretic, so you know that kind of looks bad. So the fake Mao starts telling everyone about her past, how she was a serf, and her sad story, and I was like, shut up, that's your story, that's not the Mao story, you know, that's not the real Mao. It was weird. And then she declares she's a human, like, you know, I'm only human. I was only doing the humanly thing, you know, being nice, kind, so sue me. I mean, it kind of makes sense. However, the messenger beats the crap out of her for talking. You know what? She rises. She's taking those beats. She's getting the hell beat out of her, and she rises. I have a lot of respect for this woman. She's taking a lot of shit for not even being the real Mao to begin with. Now, moving on past that, yeah, that stupid messenger beats her again. It's like, what the fuck? I was like, God, And then he calls her a fucking heretic. I just wanted to shoot this guy, literally. Now, apparently, this messenger wants the peasants to stone her to death and calls her a whore. I was like, oh my god, in society, if you were to do that now, you'd be arrested, let alone probably shot on the spot. You called her a whore, and you want these people who respect her, who love her, to stone her to death. It was like, what? And no, it's weird, the fake Mao basically said, I understand, if you people want to throw stones at me, please go ahead and do so. I don't want anyone else calling you guys heretics. You should not have to bear the responsibility that only I should bear. I'm like, this isn't even the real Mao. She's standing up for the real Mao. Like, if you actually got that, of course, if you followed me there. But I'm just like, wow. I'm like crying on the inside, obviously not on the outside. I'm like, I have a lot of respect for this woman. And guess what? All the peasants start throwing their rocks, all the stones, at the messenger. And I started laughing. I'm like, that's what they think of the church. You guys are the fucking heretics. I thought it was hilarious. Now, out of spite, the messenger orders his guards to chop the Mao's head off. Yeah, the messenger, he wants to chop off Mao's head as an example because of what actually occurred. No, it gets better. We're taken to a different scene with the Winter King. He steps up. Not gonna happen. No, he stops the killing, and then the nun joins in. The nun joins in as well. It's like, really? It took him this long to jump in. You know, the whipping wasn't good enough. The beatings weren't good enough. When she's about to get her head chopped off, now it's good enough. Better late than never, right? However, we are taken to a different scene with the Winter King, and this probably is my favorite part throughout the whole episode. You sitting down for this? Oh, I'm sitting down. Let me get comfy. Okay, I'm good to go. Ready? Okay, so we open up this scene with the Winter King, and he basically declares full protection on Mao. Mao is in his territory. He tells the messenger, get your damn hands off of her. She now has my full protection. I've seen enough. I don't like the way the church is acting. Get out. I was like, holy shit, he grows some big ass balls there. Love it. However, it gets better. We're taken to a different scene with the nun, which, if you remember correctly, is Yuusha's companion. And guess what? You sit down for this? Now, she represents the Lakeside Convent. She's the leader. And she basically says the Lakeside Convent recognizes Mao as a saint. I was like, you fucking kidding me? A saint? Well, I mean, she has dozens of miracles, but a demon king becoming a saint? And she knows that this is the demon king to begin with. I'm like, what the hell? And it's weird. And they actually force the messenger to get the hell out of the country. The Winter King approaches the messenger and basically tells him face to face, a mano, the next time we meet, it'll be on the battlefield, and we'll be on the different sides. And I'm gonna really give it to you. And you know, it's funny, the messenger just kind of takes it, but he's like, you'll hear from me type of attitude. I thought it was kind of funny. However, we are taking to a different scene toward the end of the episode with a new character, and it appears to be like a demon, and this demon is having visions of Mao, and he says he can't wait to meet her and get back at her or something along those lines. But again, that's where the episode ends. As for final thoughts, I'm wondering what the church is going to do next. I literally can't wait to find out what the church is gonna do in response to what the Winter King did, as well as what the nun did. I mean, think about it. Mao is now considered a saint, even though she's the Demon King. What happens when everyone finds out that she's the Demon King? What's gonna happen? Now, moving on past that, Yuusha. You saw him on top of the building. He was ready to jump right in and beat the fucking crap out of the messenger. I'm kind of glad he didn't, but I wanted him to. It would have been one hell of a fight. No, it wouldn't. The messenger would have got slaughtered, and it would have been amazing. Okay, moving on past that, I got one more final thought. Where's the real Mao? Where is the real Mao? I know she's still in the demon world. You know, how did the ritual go? Is she still the good Mao, or was she transformed into something different? Did the head maid kill her? We really don't know. I can't wait to find out. But again, that ends it for my final thoughts. As per my rating, are you fucking serious? Are you kidding me? I can't believe I'm even having this conversation. 4.5 out of 5. I'm not giving this a 5 out of 5 because there were no fight scenes, and I was desperately hoping for some, but there weren't. But come on, the emotion was there. The drama, you shitting me? Seriously, the drama was there. The information, not really. it was barely there. I mean, we were introduced to a new character at the end of the episode, but we don't get a name. We don't know who the fuck this guy is, if he is a demon or not. He looks like one, but we really don't know. And again, we still don't know what happened to that one commander from Gate City, the former commander of Gate City. Where the hell is he at? We really don't know. But again, final rating, 4.5 out of 5. And again, guys, that ends it for my walkthrough review of Maoyuu Maou Yuusha episode 9. But definitely comment down below, let me know. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Definitely subscribe, check me out on Twitter, and follow me if you like. But definitely let me know what you thought of this episode, and let me know what you think's gonna happen in the next episode that's coming out. But again, guys, that ends it for now. And before I go, I gotta say it, and I always say it. You can't stop the access, but you can watch the feed. I'll see you later, guys.